Long ago, beyond the highest mountains and far above the world of men, there existed a palace unlike any other. Its towers were spun from moonlight. Its gardens bloomed with silver flowers that only opened at dusk. The people who lived there called it Aethoria, the celestial palace. And at its heart sat Queen Seraphine, ruler of all she could see, and prisoner of all she could not feel. For 300 years, Seraphine had ruled with grace and wisdom. She had watched empires rise and crumble far below her clouds. She had learned the language of the wind and the names of every constellation. But lately, and she could not say exactly when it began, the palace felt dim. The chandeliers still blazed with 10,000 crystals. The morning star still rose in the east. But inside her chest, where warmth used to live, there was only a quiet, persistent gray. She called for her most trusted advisor, an ancient owl named Aldrich, and said only 4 words. "Find me the light." Aldrich did not hesitate. He had been waiting for this moment. From the deepest vault of the palace library, he retrieved a scroll sealed with starlight. As he unrolled it across the table, the map came alive, rivers of gold and silver light tracing paths across the known sky. "Your Majesty," he said softly, "the light you seek has not disappeared. It has only moved." The first light, the original flame that was lit at the birth of the world, rests now at the end of the luminous path. "It waits," he added, "for those who are willing to remember." Seraphine studied the map for a long time. Then she did something she had not done in centuries. She stepped outside the palace gates, alone. The path was not what she expected. There were no grand monuments, no trumpets, no announcements. Only a simple bridge of clouds, warm beneath her feet, stretching toward a horizon she had never bothered to reach. As she walked, memories rose like morning mist. She remembered being a child, watching fireflies in a field far below, before she had learned to rule. She remembered the feeling of rain on her hands, of laughing without reason, of standing in an open meadow, arms wide, filled with a joy that needed no explanation. She had forgotten that this was what light felt like. Not brightness, not power, just the quiet warmth of being fully, simply alive. The garden appeared slowly, the way beautiful things always do. First a color at the edge of vision. Then a fragrance carried on the breeze. Then, all at once, everything. Flowers the size of trees, petals translucent as glass, glowing from within with soft amber light. The sound of water somewhere distant. A hum in the air, almost like music, almost like memory. And at the center of it all, a flame. It was not large. It was not dramatic. It was no bigger than the flame of a single candle. But it was warm in a way that had nothing to do with temperature. Seraphine stood before it for a very long time. Then she knelt, not as a queen, but as a woman who had finally found what she had lost. "I remember you," she whispered. And the flame, as if in answer, grew just a little brighter. The walk back was shorter than she remembered. Or perhaps she simply moved through it differently. Less hurried, more present. She noticed things she had always walked past. The way the clouds curled softly at the edges. The particular shade of gold the light made at this hour. The sound her own footsteps made on the bridge. Quiet, unhurried, real. When she passed through the palace gates, the servants noticed something had changed. Not in her gown. Not in her crown. In her eyes. There was something there that hadn't been there before. Something warm. Something returned. Queen Seraphine went to the highest tower of the palace. She opened the window and let the light in. From that day forward, Queen Seraphine ruled differently. She still governed with wisdom. She still studied the stars. But she also walked in her gardens. She listened to the wind. She noticed the small, quiet, beautiful things that had always been there. And the people of Aethoria said that the palace was different now. Warmer, softer, more alive. Not because anything had been added to it, but because someone had finally stopped and truly seen it. Perhaps that is the secret the old map had always carried. That the light we search for across 1,000 miles has been burning quietly inside us all along. Waiting, patient, faithful, like a small flame on a stone altar at the edge of the sky. Always there, always warm, always yours.